Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be uploading this Wednesday morning. It's kind of like a part 2 to the habit video. Today I want to talk to you about my one really bad habit that I just seem to not be able to break, and an embarrassing habit that it is really embarrassing, and I'll share that in a minute. Let's get started. Probably my worst habit is that I stay up late and sleep in late. And you might say, well, Dawn, you work from home. What's the big deal? It is a big deal because it seems like the later I stay up, the later I sleep in. And then my hours are almost switched. It can get so bad that I almost get my days and my nights mixed up. And I can't do normal activities with normal people. So if a friend called and said, Dawn, I'm picking you up at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, we're going garage sale shopping, it would be very challenging, and I would have to set an alarm for me to be able to get up. So that is something I really want to talk to you guys about, and I really want to work on this. I know all of us have some bad habits. Some are easier to break than others. This one has been a challenge, and I thought about it and I wrote down some notes here, and I wanted to say, why do I want to break this habit? One of the ways that I have found that I can break a bad habit, such as staying up too late, chewing ice, it could be anything. Also, not showering right away in the morning. It could be any habit at all. Is I think about, why do I want to break that bad habit? What is the problem with it? What problems is it causing me? What stress is that bad habit causing me, or maybe perhaps others around me? What it is causing me for stress, and I wrote down 3 things. Number 1, I'm not able to have a peaceful morning, because if I sleep in way too late, let's say I go to bed at 4 a.m. and I wake up at 10:30 or 11 a.m. I happen to come out and get something to drink, and I look at my answering machine and it says low memory on it, okay, or almost full, and I see like 15 messages flashing. Right away, that causes me a lot of stress, because I get up and I go and I shower and I get ready and I want a little quiet time, but I feel like I have to rush that morning routine because all these voicemails are waiting for me for people that get up at a normal time. So that's number 1. Number 2, I don't get the rest that I actually need, because if I go to bed at 3 or 4, I can't sleep in for 8 hours, so a lot of times I might end up getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep. So that is not good, so I'm not getting a full night's sleep. That would be the biggie. And number 3, it can interfere with my work, because most of my shoppers are not normally up at 3 or 4 in the morning, okay, working, and there are a few that are. It doesn't work well for their schedule, so if they're calling me in the morning needing a question answered, I'm not able to help them if I'm sleeping. So I feel like half the day is gone by the time I get up and get showered and all of that and get out to my computer. It could be noon. So these are the reasons that I want to, change it. Now, why do I do these bad habits? Why do I keep veering back to the bad habits? I wrote down a couple reasons why. Number 1, when it's late at night, we'll say 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever, or even 3 in the morning, it's relaxing, it's quiet, the phone's not ringing, it's peaceful, and everyone else is in bed, and it's all quiet, and I have everything to myself, and I feel really quiet and peaceful. And so I wrote that down as number 1 and number 2. Number 3, a lot of times I can work on a project and get a lot done without any kind of interruptions. So those would be the reasons why I stay up late. But the negative outweighs the positive. So what am I going to do to change it? I'm going to give myself a challenge. And you're going to say, what? 2 o'clock in the morning is a challenge? Well, for me it is, because there's times I go to bed at 3:30 or 4. So my goal for the rest of the month of October is to not go to bed any later than 2 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't mean I'll fall asleep right away, but that's my goal. I do eventually want to get to where I go to bed no later than midnight and get up by 8. That's my ultimate goal. I'd be thrilled by go to bed at 1 and get up at 9. But for right now, I'm going to do 2 o'clock for the rest of October. And so that's what I'm going to do to break that bad habit. Now, I know you guys are waiting to hear about my embarrassing habit. This may take a little bit of time to tell you, so it might go over the 5 minutes, but believe me, I think it might be worth hearing. My bad habit is I fall asleep during the most inappropriate times, and I can't control when I fall asleep sometimes. You're going to say, gosh, Dawn. And I want to share a couple things that I have fallen asleep during. Number one, I remember one time when I fell asleep during a religious service, because unless your voice is kind of dynamic, if a person kind of drones or has a soft kind of fluty voice, and they kind of talk like this, and it takes them a long time, I just tend to, I don't know why, it relaxes me, and then I fall asleep. So if I'm in a religious service which is going on, I can fall asleep. And I'll never forget one time when I was at a religious service with my husband, and I was sitting down, and I don't know what it was, I was kind of tired, and I was starting to fall asleep. My husband decides to poke me in the ribs and just give me a little jab. You guys know this. There is nothing quiet about me, okay? Not one thing. I don't even know how to whisper. My whisper is a normal person's talk, okay? My talk is like a yell, so you can imagine. Nothing I do is quiet. So he decides to poke me in the side, and I remember, and my daughter, everybody was laughing. I guess I went like this and went, ah! And okay, and as you know, I'm really loud, and everyone, it was packed to the gills, this place. It was packed to the gills. I was super loud. Everyone turned around. It was so embarrassing. Anyway, so I thought I would share. I've also fallen asleep at many religious services, number one. Number two, I've fallen asleep in rock concerts. I fell asleep once at a play that my friend took me to, and she was actually kind of mad about it. That was really boring. Anytime I'm bored, I fall asleep. I've fallen asleep on conference calls. Oh, this is really bad. I've fallen asleep on the phone with friends, and the worst is I have fallen asleep when I'm with a group of ladies and somebody decides to tell a story that maybe I've already heard several times, and it's a long story that the person's kind of going on and goes. If somebody has a habit of making a short story long, it's almost like cruel and unusual punishment to me, okay? And I fall asleep during it, and I just start to zone. And I'll never forget one time, I'll just make this short. I was with a group of ladies. We're over at my house in the living room. This one lady was telling a story. The particular lady that was telling the story is super sweet, a lovely person. I love her. And she actually teases me. She is extremely detail-oriented, and she has a soft, kind of quiet voice that relaxes you to listen to it. Well, she was telling a story I already heard. I was kind of tired, so I decided to just kind of relax a little. I didn't realize to fall asleep. Well, I was starting to just kind of sitting there, kind of starting to doze off while my friend was telling a story I've already heard and going into extreme detail. And my other friend yells out, Dawn, Dawn, you're not hearing, this particular girl's story. You're not listening. I was just embarrassed because it does seem kind of mean not to be able to listen. But I just thought I would share with you guys my embarrassing habit. I want to know you guys, and I talked about it yesterday, if you could break one bad habit right now, any habit, what would it be? For me, the habit that I want to break is I want to go to bed earlier, go to bed ultimately by midnight, get up by 8. That's the one bad habit. And I also want to stop falling asleep on people. And I do that, even if I had a full night's sleep, guys, I still fall asleep on people. Anyway, if I'm bored at any capacity. Anyway, I hope you guys didn't mind this longer video. I love you guys and appreciate you. Bye!